Welcome back. Our next guest this evening is a local performer who's been on the stages of BDT Stage, Candlelight, Country Dinner Playhouse, the Arvada Center, and many more across the metro area, as well as he's a MSU Denver alumni. So please welcome Markus Warren.
Jesus, I am overjoyed to meet you face to face. You've been getting quite the name all around the place.
Good. What have you been up to lately?
Taking a break.
Yeah, because so the last one was Jesus Christ Superstar,
yes,
right? And then you've done nothing since then.
Nothing.
And
I'm okay with that.
It's by choice, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talk about what are you doing on your break?
Since I worked at the Country Dinner Playhouse, when I got my equity card, when I became a member of the union, I couldn't be a server at the theater anymore. Because a union actor is not allowed to be, at that time, a server at dinner theater.
Okay.
And that was the only union dinner theater, so it didn't matter anywhere else. So when I got my card and I went to New York, and then the minute I went to New York, Paul Dwyer called me and said, hey, I'd like to use you. I had to go right back to Denver. So,
and what year was this again?
That was 2006.
2006. Okay.
So in 2006, I came back to do Phantom. And then I didn't know what to do because as much as I'd like to tell you that you don't need another job, even as a union actor, you do need another job.
Yeah.
So my best friend at the time worked at a restaurant in Cherry Creek called Ocean.
Okay.
It's no longer there, but it became an Earl's, and then now that's no longer there. But whatever.
You have this record, so like Country Dinner Playhouse is no longer there. I don't know why you're here, because pretty soon
Listen, the only theater that I've closed is the Country Dinner Playhouse, so that's good. But Ocean was a fine dining restaurant, and that's how I got my experience. So now I work at Yaya's Euro Bistro in the Tech Center, and it's been there 20 years, so I don't think it's going to close anytime soon.
No.
But that's what I do. And they gave me a year and a half off because I did South Pacific.
Yeah, you went on a
I did
string
Into the
of
Woods,
things.
Wizard of Oz, Evita, and then It's a Wonderful Life. So I was there from February until the new year.
Yeah.
And it's a long way to go, and it was a long time. So after Superstar, I was like, okay, I'm going to give Yaya's. They were very nice to me, so I'm going to give them some time.
Gives them some love.
Yeah, and so I do have an audition for Joseph, or actually, I'm not sure what the
You're auditioning for things
will be
eventually.
Yes. Yeah, well, the Arvada Center hasn't announced their Christmas show, but there's an idea of what it might be.
Exactly.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But there's just a weird audition where it sings something.
Yes.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, those are always the best auditions. So you did Candlelight, like you said, for a long time in a row there.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite, or what was your favorite role of all those shows you did in a row?
Candlelight?
Yeah.
It's funny because I had a lot of fun as the Lion and the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the things that would happen on stage between me or Stephen Birtles and I.
Yeah.
Because Stephen Birtles, he has a reputation for cracking up on stage and also cracking other people up on stage. But I think because he was wearing silver makeup, he thought that no one could see it. So he would literally just laugh at things out loud in the scene. And I had a tail. So I would just hide my face with my tail, and I would be crying sometimes. I'd be laughing so hard at things that would happen, and no one ever knew. But well, I think they knew Stephen was laughing. Yeah, he didn't hide it at all. But yeah, one time he even put his head back. Yeah. He was laughing so hard at something that happened. Yeah. I really enjoyed playing Emile de Becque, which you interviewed me for.
I did. Yeah.
I had a hard time. I was scared because I had taken some time off. When I did Beauty and the Beast up at Breckenridge Backstage Theater, it was a lot. We had about 25 kids in that show. Yeah. It was a community thing where we only did the show for a weekend.
Oh, okay.
But we rehearsed it for a really long time. And all of the villagers were played by literally the townsfolk of Breckenridge. And you've never seen people not know the words to Belle in your life. And that's what happened. We opened and people are like, look, there she goes. That girl is there. It's distracted. Can't you tell? And so all of the people who weren't actors, it was a very tedious process.
Yes.
And all the Denver actors, we were all the castle people. We were Mrs. Potts and all of that. So I was the Beast, and it was hot, it took a lot out of me. So I took
Yeah.
a break after that. And then when Bob Hoppe called me to be in Singin' in the Rain, which was my first show at the Candlelight, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I really didn't have a lead, per se, in any of the shows I did at the Candlelight that year, because I did The Child Catcher
Okay.
and Chitty
Yeah,
Chitty
yeah,
Bang
yeah.
Bang
Yep,
after
I
that.
remember
And
that
then I was just Diesel in West Side Story.
Yeah.
You know, which I never thought I'd do, because I'm not really a dancer. But I danced. And then I got cast as Emile in South Pacific. And it was, because I, at the time, was 38,
And Emile's not.
Emile's pushing 60,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't want to be like this laughable young kid playing an old guy, like I did when I played Tevye here in 2000. Because I didn't know, like, that was another one where I was like, I'm far too young for this. But it was college. Everybody's too young for it, pretty much,
Exactly.
you know, unless you have somebody who's going back to get their doctorate.
Yeah.
And they decide they want to be Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof. So it felt much like that.
Yeah.
Except for then I was 23, and at 38 I was like, I can figure this out. So, you know, I did my makeup a certain way.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
grayed
think
my
you
hair a
pulled it
certain
off
way.
very nicely.
And I was told that. And
Yeah.
I mean, people, especially who sat in the back of the theater, they were
couldn't tell a difference
there
at all.
There were older women who would come up, and as they'd get closer to me after the show, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a young man," and I'd be like,
You
"Yes,
just crushed their hopes.
it worked." So yeah, it was
Well,
this
the girl I
nice
was
illusion
with-
that I created.
The girl I was with the night I saw you in that show, it was her first theater performance.
Yeah.
And like you sang that first song and she leans over and she goes, "Oh my God, that was amazing." And I go, "Yeah, it was." So we're running out of time, but real quick, let's just talk about, you are a Metro graduate.
I was, yeah.
Yeah. Musical theater?
Musical theater, yeah. At the time, we did not have the accreditation, so,
Okay.
and nor was it a university.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Look
but-
at that. The minute you leave, we get fancy.
Yeah.
But talk about that experience real quick.
Well, I'm not actually a graduate. I
not a
left. I left, and I left to go to the Country Dinner Playhouse.
Yeah,
That's really
you
what
got
I
a job.
did. Yeah. But I was here for the opening of the King Center.
Okay,
I was
that's
in-
a historic.
Yeah, I was in the very first production that we did in the Eugenia Rawls Courtyard Theater,
Yeah.
which was the Cinco Molly Brown.
Yeah.
And I played Johnny Brown, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And then the next one was Into the Woods, and then Secret Garden. So I was in
Okay.
all of those leading up to
Yeah.
when I left. We did Secret Garden twice. We actually did it in the fall, and then we had to remount it
Okay.
to be judged. It was an adjudication type
Oh.
thing. So we had to save the set and then put it all up again.
You
And
just
all of a
put it in
sudden
a
in
corner.
January, we were doing it again.
Yeah.
And just for one performance,
Yeah.
which was very, very weird.
Like deja
I'd never
vu
had
for
that
one
happen.
night. Yeah, that
but
is
then at the
interesting.
Country Dinner Playhouse, I got used to doing things for 3 months,
Yeah,
like
so
one show,
it
which
was like-
you know, when you're here, you rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and then you only do it for 2 weekends. And it seems like forever when
Yeah.
you're in college, but it really seems like forever when you're doing it for 3 months. And we extended Beauty and the Beast for 5 months. So
Oh,
we did Beauty
wow.
and the Beast at the Playhouse from October in rehearsals all the way till April.
Wow.
It was a long, long time.
Yeah, really
we
got
saw
you.
all the seasons.
Perfect.